boys and girls, it's Miss Reynolds with B.O.R.E.D. Better Off Reading Every Day. Today's book is Franklin Has a Sleepover, and that is by Paulette Borges and Brenda Clark. Franklin could count by twos and tie his shoes. He could zip zippers and button buttons. He could even sleep alone in his small dark shell. So Franklin thought he was ready for his first sleepover. He asked his mother if Bear could stay overnight. "All right," said Franklin's mother, "but where will Bear sleep?" Franklin's room was small for a turtle and a bear. "He could sleep in the living room," suggested Franklin, "and we could have a campfire outside." "And wait a minute," laughed Franklin's mother, "you haven't even asked Bear yet." Bear did a happy dance after Franklin called. "May I please go?" he asked. His parents worried that the two friends would keep each other awake all night. "We'll sleep," promised Bear. Then they wondered if he would feel homesick. "Not Bear," said Bear. "Not me." So his parents said yes. Bear called Franklin. I can come, he shouted. Franklin could hardly wait. Bear wouldn't arrive until after supper, and Franklin had just finished lunch, so he sorted all his toys and picked Bear's favorites. He made sure there was enough to eat. He even tidied his room. Franklin wanted everything to be just right for his first sleepover. Bear was excited too. He couldn't decide what to bring and what to leave behind. He filled an enormous bag with toys, books, a pillow, a sleeping bag, a puzzle, and a flashlight. He packed slippers, a toothbrush, and a snack. He put his bunny on top of the bag, and every hour he asked if it was time to go. They played all their favorite games. Before long, it was dark outside. "How about a campfire?" asked Franklin's father. "With marshmallows?" Bear licked his lips. "And hot dogs too?" said Franklin's mother. Franklin's father told Bear and Franklin what to do. They gathered sticks and twigs at the edge of the woods and helped to lay the fire. They filled a bucket with sand and another with water. "I'll light the fire," said Franklin's mother. There was a crackle and sparks jumped into the air. "I went to camp," said Franklin's father. "We used to sing while the fire was burning." He sang in a clear, low voice, but the end of the song, Franklin and Bear had learned all the words. The frogs in the pond were croaking, and the owl in the woods were hooting. Franklin and Bear toasted marshmallows and roasted hot dogs. Bear had two of everything. Then for a long, long time, they sat quietly watching the stars. Franklin yawned and Bear rubbed his eyes. "Time to put out the fire and go inside," said Franklin's father. When Franklin and Bear were ready for bed, Franklin's parents gave them both a glass of water and a good night hug. Sleep tight, they said, turning off the light. The two friends lay still for a moment. Then Bear turned on his flashlight. Franklin, he whispered, I don't feel good. Did you eat too much? Asked Franklin. No, sniffled Bear. A tear ran down his cheek. What's wrong then? Bear looked around. I miss my room. Oh, said Franklin. Then he had an idea. Bring your bed and come with me. We can sleep in my room. Bear found a cozy spot and snuggled into his sleeping bag. After a moment, he turned on his flashlight again. What's wrong now? Franklin asked. My mother always says good night to me, Bunny. Oh, good night to my bunny, whispered Bear. So Franklin gave the bunny a hug. Good night, Bunny. Good night, Bear, he said. Soon they were fast asleep. The next morning, Franklin's father made them a special breakfast. Did you have a nice sleepover? Asked Franklin's mother. It was wonderful, said Bear. Thank you. Next time, may Franklin come to my house? Of course, Franklin's parents laughed. Franklin did his own happy dance. And Bear, said Franklin, tapping his shell, don't worry about where I will sleep. I always bring my own cozy bed with me. The end, boys and girls, of Franklin Has a Sleepover. There's a lot of Franklin books. I haven't gotten my hands on all of them yet, but here is a few of them that I'm working on. Franklin and Harriet. Franklin is Bossy. That one I did do. Franklin Fibs. Franklin's New Friend. Franklin is Lost. Franklin Says I Love You. Franklin Wants a Pet. Lots of Franklin books. Can you see them? Boys and girls, this book says they're celebrating 20 years of Franklin the Turtle. I'm not 100% sure when that was, but I have to tell you, I absolutely love these books. They have very great lessons that they teach very, very softly and very, very gently through Franklin's eyes, Franklin the Turtle. And that's why I've always liked them, because this one is about sleepovers, and you get it, the way he feels. He's excited, and then it's time to go to sleep, and he's used to what goes on in his house, so now he wants it to happen at a sleepover. And that is the thing with sleepovers. Sometimes you get used to them right away, and sometimes they take a little while, based on the way that you're feeling and what you're comfortable with. But I will tell you this, not everybody is happy about the sleepovers. Not every parents love the sleepovers. Some do, some don't. Some do, some don't. So I can't speak for everybody, but I will say that you should always go with the way that you're feeling, and your parents will go with the way that they're feeling about it as well. And when you ask for a sleepover, you have to make sure that the person whose house you're sleeping over, that their parents speak with your parents, and your parents speak with their parents. So everybody is communicating and on board with the fact that you're not going to be sleeping at your own house. You're going to be sleeping at somebody's house, or somebody's going to be sleeping at your house, and you're going to be, vice versa, what I'm saying. So you always want to make sure that everybody is comfortable, because boys and girls, when it comes down to being comfortable where you sleep, it's very, very important, because you're not going to be able to fall asleep and get that good rest that you need to get your brains working and have that energy for when you wake up in the morning if you can't sleep. But I have to also tell you something else. I do know from experience with my very own daughter that there's not a lot of sleeping that goes on at the sleepover. because whenever she goes to a sleepover over the years and she comes home, the first thing she does when she gets home is goes up to her own bed and goes to sleep. So even though it's called a sleepover, there's really not much sleeping going on. We got to change it to the go over your house and stay up over. The stay up over. It's better than the sleepover. It makes more sense. Well, I'm not going to be the one to change it. I'm just saying it's an idea. It's the stay up over. Boys and girls, it is Miss Reynolds with B.O.R.E.D, Better Off Reading Every Day. And it has been my pleasure to bring this book to you. And I hope whatever you decide to do, if you have a sleepover or if you don't have a sleepover, wherever you're sleeping, that you absolutely love it. Because that's what it's all about. Getting that good night's sleep so that brain recharges and repairs and refreshes itself. And you wake up this next morning with all the burst of energy raring to go. Bye, boys and girls. It really should be called the stay up over sleepover. You're right.